personal conclusion a while back. You don't have to agree with me if you don't want. But as far as I'm concerned, my opinion is people are fundamentally boring. Seen one, you seen them all. So when you've got 300 people in your house, you got boring times 300. 3,000 people in your house. Do the math, boring times 3,000. But when you've got God in the house, now we've got something to work with. And the vision of New Testament worship is to get God in the house. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 24. But if all prophesy and an unbeliever or an uninformed person comes in, he is convinced by all, he is convicted by all, and thus the secrets of his heart are revealed. And so falling down on his face, he will worship God and report that, listen, that God is truly among you. Now, Paul's talking about an unbeliever that got into the meeting. I don't know how he got in. We had the ushers at the door, but somehow he got in. And the glory of God so fell in the meeting that a prophetic spirit exploded in the house, and God starts to read the guy's mail in front of the whole congregation, not to embarrass him, but to let him know, I know who you are, I know how you feel, I know the rich of your heart, I know the thirst and the cry of your spirit, I even know the thoughts you were thinking this morning when you awakened before this meeting ever happened. And God starts revealing the very thoughts of the guy's heart in front of the whole congregation. The guy, he falls on his face in the middle of the worship service, falls to the ground and starts worshiping God. When was the last time you had unbelievers falling on their face in your worship service? This is the template. So the unbeliever is falling on his face, worship. He's not even saved yet. Just worshiping God. Leaves the meeting, goes to his friends and says, guys, I thought I was just going to a church. I got there, and God was there. Scared me to death. He knows my name. He knows what I think. He knows what I was saying to myself just this morning, word for word. I've never been so scared in all my life. I'm telling you, you go to that place, you will have a face-to-face encounter with God himself. I'm never going back. And he's back again next day. Why? Because when you've tasted and seen that the Lord is good, but the litmus test of New Testament worship is not what did the believers say about the meeting. Because you can get believers to say almost anything. You know, we're after the meeting, we're high-fiving one another. Did we have church today? Give me 5. Did we have church today? Oh, was God in that? Knock it. was God in the house. And everybody's convincing one another that we had this awesome time. You can get believers to say most anything. I'm not impressed when the believers leave the meeting talking how good it was. What I'm impressed with is when you get a crusty, hardened, cynical unbeliever leaving your meeting saying, God's in that place.